All right, let's talk about something you've probably noticed. Why do some people wear basically the same thing every single day? It's not because they're boring, I promise. In this explainer, we're going to dive into the fascinating psychology behind the personal uniform and uncover the hidden superpowers of the people who rock it. You know who I'm talking about, right? You've seen it with famous CEOs, brilliant artists, maybe even that one person in your office who's always in the same kind of outfit. It's so easy to just write them off, but what if I told you there's a powerful psychological reason behind that choice? Well, let's find out. Yeah, on the surface, the judgment can be pretty harsh, right? We think, oh, that's kind of boring, or lazy, maybe a little unimaginative. But the psychological truth? Whoa, it's something else entirely. It's actually a story about focus, about a deep, unshakable confidence, and sometimes it's even about a quiet form of rebellion. So, here's the most important thing to get right up front. We have to completely reframe how we see this. This isn't a failure of fashion. It's a deliberate, conscious choice. You could even call it a psychological superpower that lets these people navigate the world in a very specific and very powerful way. Okay, so we're going to break this down into four, let's call them psychological profiles. And first up, we've got the practical optimizer. For them, it's all about protecting their single most valuable resource, their mental energy. Okay, think about it like this. Your brain is kind of like a computer, right? It only has so much RAM. And every tiny little decision, like what shirt should I wear today, that's like opening another tab in your browser. The optimizer gets this. They are all about closing those useless tabs so they can free up all their processing power for the stuff that actually matters. And this just nails their mindset perfectly. They literally treat their mental energy like it's money in the bank. Why would you waste it on something trivial when you've got huge projects or big life decisions that need your full attention? It just makes sense. They're investing that energy where it really counts. So this is how they do it. They completely sidestep that decision paralysis. You know that feeling, right? Staring into a closet packed with clothes and feeling like you have absolutely nothing to wear. Yeah, they avoid all that. By simplifying their choices, they can just focus. For them, it is all about the results, not about how they look while getting there. Okay, but it's not always about just saving brain power. For our second type, the identity anchor, this whole personal uniform thing goes way deeper. It's a powerful way of expressing who they are at their absolute core. See, the identity anchor, they just know who they are. They're not getting pulled around by every new trend that pops up on social media. Why? Because their style is just a true, authentic reflection of what's on the inside. It's this really calm, quiet confidence that just kind of radiates from them. And this quote is basically their silent mantra. It's this powerful statement of self-acceptance. They're not out here trying to be somebody else. Their clothes just reinforce the person they already know they are. Man, there is such a deep confidence in that, isn't there? And really, that's the key right there. You know, we live in this world that's just obsessed with online personas and getting likes, all that external validation. The identity anchor, they don't need it. They get their sense of self from the inside. Their confidence is quiet, it's calm, and it doesn't need an audience to feel real. All right, let's switch gears completely because this next motivation is totally different. For our third type, which we're calling the sensory guardian, the personal uniform isn't about expressing themselves. It's about protecting themselves. Okay, imagine for a second that your nervous system is just permanently turned up to 11. The world can feel like this constant assault of sights, sounds, textures. It's a lot. For the sensory guardian, a personal uniform is their way of turning down that volume. It creates a predictable, stable, and calming experience for them. And I absolutely love this metaphor. Their clothes are their quiet armor. It's not about fashion at all. It's this protective layer that gives them predictable, stable, and calm sensory input. It helps them feel grounded and present when the world just feels like way too much. Okay, but what if this whole thing, what if it isn't about optimizing your focus or finding a sense of peace? What if it's actually an act of defiance? And that, my friends, brings us to our final and maybe my favorite type, the quiet rebel. This person is making a very deliberate, very silent statement against the status quo. The quiet rebel is basically a conscious objector. They see that endless cycle of buy this new thing, and they're just not playing the game. They see right through the marketing that's designed to make us feel like we're not enough. So their personal uniform? It's a silent but super powerful act of resistance against all that pressure to conform. And this just lays out their value system so clearly. On one side, they reject the whole performance of it all, the spectacle, the desperate chase for popularity. And on the other side, they embrace what's real: substance, authenticity, self-awareness. So here's the kicker. What looks like just simple confidence is actually rebellion in disguise. It's a quiet but firm no thank you to all the social pressures telling us we constantly have to change and be something new. So there you have it. The optimizer, the anchor, the guardian, and the rebel. For totally different reasons, 4 different paths, but you know what? They all lead to the same destination: a powerful, simple philosophy of enough. When you boil it all down, the one thing that connects all of these types is a really deep level of self-awareness. They know what's important to them, and they know what they need to protect, whether that's their energy, their identity, their senses, or their core principles. And you know what? That takes some serious courage. Think about it. We live in a world that is just constantly screaming at us to get more, buy more, be more, do more. To just stand your ground and consciously choose enough, that is a rare and powerful kind of inner strength. So choosing a personal uniform, it's not about hiding from the world, not at all. It's about building a stronger, more authentic you. It's about protecting your inner peace so you can build your soul from the inside out, without all that external noise getting in the way. So, after hearing all that, I have to ask, which one are you? Do you see yourself in the optimizer, the anchor, the guardian, or maybe you're a bit of a quiet rebel? Drop a comment below. I am genuinely curious to hear your story.